Hey you guys, my name is Ryn and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you Emerson's Lounge and I am really excited for this one, you guys. I wanted to do something industrial but kind of quirky, and I think this hits the mark. So this is a lounge slash bar. I built it in Oasis Springs because it just felt right. I don't know, just something about the sand, the oasis feeling. It lends itself, the whole landscape of that world lends itself beautifully to more industrial, maybe modern-ish builds. So it was the perfect place to go about doing this build. And I was inspired by a hotel called Moxy, or the Moxy, in Washington, D.C. And I came across this hotel and its bar, which I think is also called the Moxy, but that was a little tricky to figure out. But anyway, nonetheless, this hotel has this amazing bar, and it's very, oh man, I'm gonna keep saying industrial today, guys, but just bear with me. But it's very industrial, but it introduces classic items and kind of throwback kind of things like board games, and they even have what's it called? It's the coin slot pony that you can ride. That for me, when I was growing up, was always outside of grocery stores. They have one of those in their bar, and as well as a foosball table and just a bunch of quirky decor, including like Monopoly money on the walls and flamingos and giant gummy bears. And so the fun thing is that it is it's the coolest space, even though it has all of these really kind of jovial, juvenile things, if you will. I hate saying juvenile because it's like we should all be kids at heart, but I just love the playfulness and the sophistication of this hotel bar, the Moxy. Guys, if you want to see my reference pictures for this build, I will include the link to the pictures that specifically inspired me for this. But I loved all of that. I loved all the humor of their decor, and I loved how it still had this very old era class about it, even though it was, dare I say, quite hipster. But anyway, I absolutely love the pictures. Guys, please go take a look at them. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just did a Google search and boom, there lied my inspiration. So, but go give it a look and you will see the similarities indeed. But I really enjoyed this build. I wanted to push myself a little bit with the wall decor specifically, because in a space like this, what I intended with this build was to have the 2 floors, the second floor being a loft, and I wanted it to feel cozy, but you definitely understood that it could have been a warehouse at some point. I also wanted it to be very artsy and welcoming to artists, those of the canvas, the mic, or any instrument for that matter. So this is a two-story build. And the trick with the walls though was that, well, one, I wanted a ton of windows. Like I was just like, I have to have a ton of windows to let all this beautiful sunshine come through. But also the Moxy bar had a ton, just so many windows just open. It basically made you feel like there was a seamless transition between the sidewalk, outdoor plaza space, and the bar. And I loved that feeling. So I wanted to continue with that aesthetic here. And the trick with that though is that when you put in a ton of windows, it doesn't lend a lot of wall space for decor. So I wanted to play around with a lot of wall textures, like different types of brick finishes, different types of concrete finishes. I even, for the floors, eventually you'll see I just completely abandoned trying to get large rugs into this space because they just did not feel cohesive. So I ended up just taking one of the floor patterns from, I I think it's the bowling stuff pack. Yeah, it's the bowling stuff pack. And I used that to kind of connect things around a bit. And it made a lot more sense. In fact, you're seeing it going right now. So I just really wanted to have this be quirky and fun and humorous, but sophisticated, and had this class about it. And you can definitely feel, especially from the bowling stuff pack, and I don't know if it's a bowling stuff pack or an expansion pack. I actually can't remember. Nonetheless, that pack and Get Famous have beautiful furniture that looks like mid-century modern stuff, which is just, oh, it's the perfect furniture because it just looks beautiful and it seems to be just timeless. It works today, it worked back then, perfect stuff. So that really helps carry this whole tying of the old and new together throughout the entire build. And I loved how it came together, you guys. I can't wait for you to see the pictures. One thing that I struggled with the most in this build was definitely the stage. I wanted it to be special, but I didn't want it to be overpowering, and I was having a heck of a time trying to obtain the right balance. I didn't want it flush up against the walls either. I thought that that would make it very distant. I wanted it to be a bit more present and centered in that corner of the room, if that makes sense. So you'll see me playing a lot with the stage area back there, and as well as, you might have noticed, the lighting. So the colors of the lights change all the time in this build, but I essentially went with a kind of a cool blue, almost a turquoise, and then orange. And you'll see that finally kind of resolve at the end. It took me a little bit of time because sometimes the colors would overpower one another and it just became a hot, muddy mess with all of these colors trying to blend together, but it came out perfectly and I'm so happy with it. The struggle was real, but the struggle was worth it. All right, we are still on the first floor. I can't even, so let me just put this into perspective a little bit. You are seeing in about, let's see, so in less than 50, so the footage you're seeing is less than 15 minutes long, but this is all condensed from 10 hours of video. I know. I'm a bit crazy when it comes to details. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I always like to try and find just the right items to put in just the right places. And so that's what always takes me a long time. But I'm saying that because the first floor, boy, I struggled. I struggled so hard trying to get the layout of the first floor. Oof. Because essentially, I loved that lounge area back there that you're looking at now with the garage and everything. And I just loved how it anchored the room. But then trying to translate that throughout the rest of the space was really challenging. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but the details are just, I always get hung up on the details, you guys. Always, always. They matter to me so much. Oh, one day I might change. Never. I'm not changing that. Anywho, you just saw some of the outdoor furniture go out, and the outdoor furniture was actually inspired by the sign that is out in the front, which eventually I think you'll see in the pictures too. But this became very much a multicolor, beautiful wonderland of different types of chairs, of different types of lights, different, just kind of a hodgepodge, eclectic collection of decor and furniture. But gosh dang it, that's one of my favorite things to do, so I love it. Oh, on the second floor, on the second balcony, just so you guys know, there's a little bubble station as well as 2 tables for gaming, so, or like for card games and such. So just so you know that that is out there waiting for your Sims to enjoy. On the back balcony, just so you know as well, you'll probably see it eventually too. You'll see everything eventually, so I don't know why I have to preface that. But hey, you just saw it now. Boom. There's a foosball table back there. Hey, great timing. I know. Thank you, Ryn. You're welcome, Ryn. What's up, girl? Okay. Ryn's got Ryn's back. I can't. Okay. When I was doing this part back here though with the foosball table, I think that took me literally an hour to find a rug. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's just who I is. This is how it was made, okay? Do not judge your girl, all right? All right. Oh my gosh, the bathroom is one of my, you guys, I love the bathroom because there is a like beautiful ornate toilet and then the most rusty, rickety sink. And that just kind of described how I approached this build. It was like, I want the kind of grimy, not the grimy, but kind of the worn. I wanted the worn with the gorgeous, and I wanted to put it all together in one build. And so the bathroom continues that whole theme. I also really liked putting the star door on the bathroom. I know, again, a little bit of humor here. I just thought that was a nice touch, a nice touch. Don't know why that's hard to say, but either I'm going to pat myself on the back. Good job, Ryn. I think some of my favorite kind of spaces in here are the bathroom. There's a corner on the walkway that goes to the front balcony that is devoted to those who would like to do some gaming. And then right by the bathroom, immediately outside the bathroom, I really want to point this out to you guys. So there's a typewriter, and most of you know I do not use CC content. So don't at me if you are going to come at me and say that there is a CC typewriter out there. I'm sure there is. I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm sure that it's amazing. I'm not going to use it. I just prefer Maxis, or yeah, Maxis. All of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, there's Maxis Match, but I prefer the game's in-game content. Just me. I respect all preferences. But what I wanted to tell you was that the typewriter on the second story that is immediately outside of the bathroom, you can actually quote unquote use it. I know it's covered in glass, but I shrunk down a little computer. And if you go to the back of the typewriter, you could see the back of the computer just kind of sticking out. I did that so that you could still click on the computer and actually use the typewriter. So when the Sims are sitting in there, they are actually using the typewriter, but it's a computer. I don't know. I was just really happy about that. It made me smile, and I wanted to tell you guys too. So I love that touch. What can I say? At points during this build, I did have it in live mode. Excuse me. It's live mode. It is live mode. Just to set the colors and to make sure that the colors of the lights, that is, and to make sure that some things were workable, like the computer in the typewriter situation that I was just describing to you. Eventually, I decided to kick them out because they were just a pain in the butt. So you will see them be gone. Be gone, Sims, be gone. And they're poof, just like that. They have gone. And here we're just doing the last minute touches. This is the 10th hour of creating this space. But I absolutely love how this came together. Moxy Hotel was such a huge inspiration, and I'm so glad I've stumbled upon their site and their bar/lounge. And you guys were finishing with the outside landscaping, which is very minimal, but we're gonna roll into the pictures here, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you at the end. All right, you guys, that does it for Emersyn's Lounge. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe and hit that bell button so that you're notified when new videos are live. If you guys would like to download this build, it is on the Sims 4 gallery. Just look up RynAsInWin. You guys can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, all again, RynAsInWin. You guys, the internet is a busy place, so I'm honored you chose to spend some time with me today. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.